Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Journey Through Miro. I am here with my pictacular pastels, who will now introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Steven the Stole. You can find me on TikTok at @StevenTheStole. You can find me DMing also there. Some Saturdays, scheduled stuff. You can see my bio for when, or you can see the aftermath on my YouTube Lone Jedi 100. I'm here tonight with my player's handbook. My player's handbook. My player. Nope. 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 With the player's handbook to play tonight's game.
We get it. You're stacked.
Hey guys, I am Dennis Kuntz. I am the Captain Calvinist. I play Kano Udai for this D&D campaign. I also GM another D&D campaign called Tales of Yaesir that is on my YouTube channel, the Captain Calvinist. You can find me, I want to say pretty much on any other social media platform as Captain Calvinist or Captain Calvinist of Swords. I also run a podcast, The Reformed Roundtable. May not have seen a couple episodes. There may have been episodes not that have not come out recently, and that's because I've had a lot of army stuff to do, which has taken up a real big portion of my time lately. So
You see, this is what happens when you're owned by Uncle Sam.
I am fine being owned by Uncle Sam right now. It puts money in my bank account.
Dang.
Better much more money than I have. Hello, everybody. You probably can't see me just because sinuses are kicking my tail today. I am the Black Doctor, also known here in Journey Through Miro as Balgroth the Dark. I also play as the Great and Honorable Donatello, as well as the Harbinger of Hope, Athanasius Theophilus. And yeah, if you want to find me, you can find me on TikTok at the Black Doctor 21. Also, the Black Doctor in Instagram and on YouTube. So yeah.
Konnichiwa, senpais. I'm Dale Jitsu. I shoot post on TikTok under the same handle. And in this particular campaign, I play the role of Isaiah Yeager. Cheers. All right, no, the annoying part's over. You can DM now.
I'm writing an angry letter to my senator.
She just had to do a system reboot for your cringe.
Anyway, I will now roll. I am going to kill my computer. Okay. I'm going to spin the wheel of names, and whoever it lands on will give us the recap in character. And hopefully my Wi-Fi stays stable. Steven, give us the recap as Yip Yap.
Oh, crummy, I should have rewatched the last episode. Well, Kira, we made it. The boy got to go home. I wish I could go home. So I started drinking to forget that, naturally. And then I went out and I found a bunch of kobolds, but they were really, really soft. Too soft to be kobold, but I took them anyway. And it sounds like Kano broke out of jail. I don't know why he's still with us, wanting to go to a big ball. We also got clothes for the ball. I got a really nice suit and daggers. Stick all in it, and I got a shield, and I put your logo on it. And my little pseudo dragon doesn't have a name yet, but I'm still working on it. Right, Philip? Nope, that's a terrible name. And yeah, other people went off and did some secrety stuff that I don't know about yet. But we'll probably deal with the repercussions from some of that in today. I want to tell you more, but I'll see you after my journey through Miro.
Oh my god, I hate this so much. The inspiration. or kill everyone in my house.
It glitched.
Am I back yet?
Yes. The last thing you did
cool.
was tell me that I had inspiration. That's the last thing we heard.
Yeah, you have inspiration. I'm gonna do. There's some. I wish my family would go to sleep because I know that the Wi-Fi is being like this because everything in the house is currently being used.
Quick, I already have inspiration.
Then you don't get any more. Sorry. You gotta use it. So,
You
we
used my inspiration. Now I'm gonna starve.
We pick up with the sun slightly setting now. Within the kingdom of Kincardine.
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 Kin?
Kin. K-I-N, yes.
Oh,
why do they care about Kim Kardashian?
I've been mishearing it the whole time. I thought it was Kim Kardine. Okay.
Kincardine.
That's not hard. It makes it hard to hear.
Y'all met some interesting folks last session. Balgroth, you got a nice new sword. You also went to a nice, very quaint bookstore to get some information, or at least try to. Now, as the sun sets, the time of the big event grows nearer and nearer, and you all have to get ready.
So I believe everyone has shiny clothes except me at this point.
You and Yip Yip.
Aren't Yip Yips already flamboyant or no?
Yip Yip has it is red, but it's not bright red.
Okay. Blood red.
If I am remembering correctly.
In memory of my dead parents.
This is where my parents died, Raphael.
Bummer, dude.
If I remember correctly, you all also put your outfits and such back at the tavern so you could continue walking around the city unencumbered by the clothes and such.
Yeah.
So we can crash into the tavern.
Istanbul, Constantinople.
And from here, you guys can get ready for the big event.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get ready and then stare at my new sword, tinkering with its abilities and watching the pommel glow with its tremendous power.
Nice.
So,
Yip Yip's gonna do what he always does when he's alone with his pseudo dragon for long enough.
Kano, Isaiah, what are y'all doing?
So Kano is just going to begrudgingly go to his room. I'm tired. I don't think I fully recovered from escaping yet. I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay.
I think that I will just start reading these the books that I purchased, studying those intently. Let's see.
Flip flop.
I'm actually going to read what you wrote me on those. Oh.
Rocks. Nope.
Yeah. So some rye folk kind of come in and out of the tavern as the very few hours pass. All of them are very excitingly chatting about what's going to happen at the big event, who's invited. and things like that. They're also just very excited that the prince has returned and that they now have a reliable heir once again.
Man, look at all these people. Happy to have someone home who is loved.
Just look at all these people. Don't they look happy to be alive? Unlike my village.
Y'all are depressing.
They're the ones with the sad boy backstories.
Okay.
I just hope the prince is okay.
So, Yip Yap, Balgroth, Isaiah, I assume y'all are all, like, after you get dressed. I can't talk. After y'all get dressed, you go back to the bottom floor to just kind of wait out until the event happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. As you three sit downstairs, one Rye guard and a Limrius guard walk into the tavern, and they kind of spot you guys immediately, and they go over to you. The Limrius, he has like bright green and blue feathers that are kind of held up in like a ponytail on the back of his head, and he has kind of goldish armor, whereas the Rye guard has a kind of silvery mixed with blue sapphires and stuff like that type of armor. We are ready to escort you folk to the inner city now.
Oh, I didn't know we were invited.
That's because you couldn't read the letter, small one.
Oh. But now I can, and I jangle my monocle.
Yes, well, let's be off then.
Are you all? We were told there were 4 of you.
Oh, right. Kano. We need to get him up.
What is that earthquake sound?
Looks like someone who does. Looks like someone who does not want to be disturbed.
I'll have my crow peck him awake. Like not gently.
Not gently? Okay.
No, gently.
He gets him right in the eye.
Roll for damage. No.
The bird just
So as the bird pecks at Kano's head, instantly y'all hear just crashing and thundering in his room.
He'll be right down.
Do you
Kano
attack
comes
the bird?
out wearing the suit, the red suit, just eyes squinted down.
Did you attack the bird?
Actions may have been done.
He has to know if the bird is dead or not.
No, the bird's not going to be dead.
Okay.
It looks back to him.
Okay.
But he's going to come in looking dapper and all of that.
Both of the guards kind of like eye you kind of suspiciously. Not suspiciously. What's the word?
Curiously.
Nervously. Because you don't look like the type of thing that would have caused that much noise before.
Sorry, I had a rough sleep. Kano's going to look directly at Isaiah. You are lucky I didn't kill that damn bird of yours.
If your sleep was so rough, it's probably good that you were woken up from it.
You know,
Bit of a blunt instrument, that.
I understand nightmares.
Or rather, a bit sharp. Bit pointed.
Balgroth just giggles and shakes his head, just watching all this unfold.
Anyway, let's be off, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed.
do I recognize any of the guards that are like coming to a?
There's
Just
2
for
of
us.
them. One of them is a Rye and the other is a Limrius.
Do-
And no, you recognize the armor, but the person wearing it you don't immediately recognize, and they don't really like. You're
Dodged
just-
a bullet on that
yeah.
one.
Well, I mean, you also look different anyway than when you looked in the cell.
Yeah.
So, The guards kind of like nod and they escort you outside, where like a kind of where it's like a wagon, but it's like those wagons, a rickshaw. A rickshaw is waiting for you. Two of them. Two people can sit in each. Who's sitting with who?
I'll get in first so people can decide.
Kano's just going to go ahead and get in second.
With Isaiah? Okay.
And then I will stay with Yip Yap.
Okay. Isaiah, also, once you step outside, it was like obviously you noticed them before because they've been following you around, but there seems to be a lot more Flogants in the surrounding area than there have been recently.
Is there one close enough to for Yip Yap to grab?
Yeah, there's like a couple just kind of sitting on the rickshaw. They're being like pigeon-esque, and they're just pecking at the ground when there's no food.
Yip Yap wants to grab one.
All right, you can grab one. It just kind of like, it makes like a sound when you grab it.
I take my dagger and I...
What? Wait, are you killing it? What are you doing to it?
Should I not?
No, I'm just asking for clarity. Are you like poking it with the dagger, or are you like slowly putting the dagger inside of it?
Yip Yap's just gonna game end this bird.
Okay, hold on.
Yip Yap, don't make sure that you don't mess up your clothes.
So Yip Yap.
Do we have to take Yip Yap to therapy?
Let me see what happens.
It's too late.
Yip Yap. As you insert the dagger inside of this bird-like creature, it makes like another sound where it's just like it's like a choking seagull. And when the dagger goes inside of it, there's like blood that comes out of it, obviously, but the blood is very inky black, and it's like deflating like a balloon.
Come in.
Yip Yap's gonna throw it back out the window. Not food animal. Mm-mm.
None of the other Flogants react in any sort of like positive and or negative way. They just keep going about their business.
Yip Yap's gonna wipe off the dagger on the cushion, put it back.
And Balgroth just stares at him, stares at the Flogant, stares at him, stares back at the Flogant. I don't even know what just happened, and I don't even know if I want to.
And Balgroth, you're gonna see Yip starts fidgeting with 2 gold coins.
Yip, what are you doing?
Oh, just looking at these coins I got. They're very pretty and shiny.
Curious, he asked, well, can I see them?
He holds one up to you, and it's let me message you something.
Cap, what are you doing?
Oh no, I got this really cool flashlight though.
Please stop being an anglerfish. Don't you know what happens to male anglerfish?
It
bends at the top.
You see, I got this new flashlight, and it also works as a back scratcher.
Back scratcher.
Don't you know what happens to male anglerfish?
No, I don't.
They become tumors when they mate.
That's something I did not. I could go my entire life not knowing.
Yeah, well, I knew it, and now you know it. Also, male anglerfish don't even have the light. That's only females.
So you mean the one from Finding Nemo was a woman?
Yes.
So yeah, Doc, there's that information. As he holds it.
So, the rickshaws take you to the walls. It's not a very long journey. You could have easily walked there within like 5 minutes, but they wanted to be fancy. So, the rickshaws...
And Balgroth is fine with that.
They stop outside. The intricate wall gates that you have seen before. There's some very nice designs. Taking a closer look, and as the sun sets, the light kind of shines off the jewels that are embedded into the walls and gates. It's depictions of stories, more so than just illustrations in general. And Isaiah and Balgroth, make history checks for me, please.
All right.
Okay.
Kano, you can make one too, but it's going to be a disadvantage.
There's no way Yip Yap knows.
No, he wouldn't know this story. It has nothing to do with the Radiance, so you wouldn't know it.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I have to make what check is it again?
It's a history, but you're at disadvantage.
I'm at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, at least I got a better base roll than Dale.
I'm just so much.
Oh my God.
How?
That's funny, and I love that. So, Isaiah, you are the only one. Balgroth Kano, you recognize symbols of the Tellurian and other primordials, but you don't know exactly what story this is. Isaiah, this story is about how the undersea primordial, known as the Vast to you, was locked under the water by the other primordials due to a fight, a war that it had created on land. And if you need me to type that up for you at some point, just let me know.
Thank you.
Was he being a little scamp?
He was being a little scallop.
And is this just like you said this is a writings or?
It's hieroglyphic. It's
yeah,
like hieroglyphic storytelling. Like it's just pictures. There's no actual words on the gate. And with that, the gates open up, and you're not in the rickshaws anymore. You are going to walk inside as the guards close the gates behind you. There's a lot of other people around, and the first thing the four of you notice is that the inner city is very, very extravagant, as you probably expected, but not maybe in quite the way you expected, because it looks the exact same in terms of architecture to the outer city, but instead of the homes and stores being made out of wood and stone, it is all made out of glass and crystal.
Ooh, shiny!
Wow.
Is the exact same style of architecture, however. And
so, like, are all the buildings see-through?
No, they're very opaque. Anything that is glass is still a window, technically, but walls and, like, doors and things are made out of crystals. And some of the glass is very mirror-like. So you can't quite see inside any of the buildings. Unless you were to stand right up against the wall and try to look past your own reflection.
Wow.
When will my reflection show?
And with the setting sun, streams of light are bouncing from the walls, creating these, like, you can see where the streams of light are heading because of how, like, magnified they are. And they're just kind of going in random directions, like those, like, spy things, spy lasers. They don't feel any warmer than the surrounding air. They're just kind of there.
Kano is in awe right now, just at what he's seeing.
Balgroth just looks around and is like, wow, I was fancy, but this is a bit too much. Like, even my human side is cringing at this. Wow.
Huh?
It's a bit too fancy.
And as you walk, you notice that a lot of the light being magnified around isn't coming from the setting sun. Some of it is, the higher points are, but closer to the ground, the lights become green and blue as they are reflecting the lights coming off the bioluminescent plants surrounding you on this walk through a very kind of Alice in Wonderland-esque garden. Very tall mushrooms and flowers of sorts, and almost all of them are glowing either blue, green, or purple.
Are they within grabbing distance?
So the path you're walking on, it's a plain gravel path. There's some stones mixed in with the gravel. And there's like a small fence and stuff as just kind of like, please don't step outside of the path. But right up against the path are little mushrooms that are growing. And you can see other people who are walking are picking up these mushrooms and are just kind of like eating them. And things are happening to those people that are eating them.
What kinds of things?
What are happening?
Just just various like
Use your
small. Nothing
imagination.
bad is happening. No one is getting hurt. They're just like their skin is changing color or their wings are shifting. Simple things like that, you know.
Yep. We'll pick a mushroom and give it a nibble.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Yep. Is your first response to seeing something strange to put it in your mouth?
Yours
Maybe.
I got a feeling that's not a good idea.
Yeah, I'm fine. What's the worst that could happen?
You die.
You explode.
There's no death. There's only the radiance.
Yep. A majority of mushrooms are poisonous.
They're not dead.
Okay,
And they're
Yep,
not you.
roll a d10.
Ah!
I found it. I had a different page open. Sorry.
There is no death. There is only the void.
Actually, no, you've given me the perfect opportunity. I'm not going to use my metal dice.
Okay, so anyway, yes, as Yip Yap is eating those mushrooms, they're like this big. They're like mushroom sized, you know? But everything else further beyond the path, it just seems to get bigger and bigger. And there are like benches and things placed about where you could sit down and admire everything. But there is like a flow of people kind of going, so it seems like it is preferred if you keep moving forward.
All right, I've got my duck dice.
Question.
Oh, the duck dice.
Nice.
D10, let's go.
When it comes to these things, I mean, they're like you could grab these mushrooms in bunches, right?
You could. You could probably hold like the stems aren't very thin, but you could probably hold like maybe 3 at a time before you start like before they're
28.
spilling over. What is that?
Right.
28.
What?
28. Sorry, I'm
a
not doing.
D10.
Oh, a D10.
Yeah. Oh, just a D10.
Yeah.
The D10 is an 8.
Okay. Yip Yap. As you eat this mushroom, oh my god! Why does it have to be this one? Dean. Yip Yap. When you eat this, everything around you kind of slows more and more until everyone around you is not moving anymore. You cannot hear anything anymore. We're just gonna say this happens for like a second. And you are free to move around. And I'll let you do one thing before this time stop spell ends.
Dude,
your
you
pseudo dragon
literally
is
have
also
the power of
frozen in time.
Zeraldo in your hands.
I'm gonna. Are they all wearing hats?
Most of them are wearing hats. I believe Isaiah is definitely wearing a hat.
Yeah, Isaiah's wearing a hat. I don't know if Kano's wearing a hat. I'm not.
Kano is not wearing a hat. He's letting his red hair flow in its
That's not saying
ponytail.
touching the hat's a bad idea. It's there.
His hair's in his ponytail, by the way.
I'm going to wait. Red hair. Ooh. I'm gonna put the top hat on Kano and drop my pseudo dragon on Balgroth's head. And I'm gonna be sitting crisscross on Isaiah's head.
Okay.
I'm not asking questions. He ate the mushroom. It's
you
his
are
high.
able to do all of this, and once you are sitting down, the spell ends. People pick back up. For a second, your ears ring because of the sudden noise that's happening, but it quickly goes away. And everyone, you take note of what has happened in what you perceive to be a millisecond.
Tokyo Mukidas.
So I'm going to take stock of the situation. And I'm going to point my finger at my head.
No.
What are you doing?
No.
Are you doing Mind Sliver on yourself?
No, on the thing on my head.
Wait, I thought the
No,
pseudo dragon
nothing
was
was
on
on
Baldur.
your head.
Yes, there is.
I'm on his head.
Oh,
What's
it's on his head.
I didn't
What-
catch that.
what's the save?
Got that.
Yep, I guess make the intelligence save.
And then I'm going to push it off me.
Alright, how much damage is that? I need to know. How much damage is that?
1.
That's only 1 damage? Okay.
Oh my
Good to
goodness.
know.
And then I'm going to take my mage hand, my top hat back, and brush off my head.
What was
Would
that?
anyone else like to eat one of the interesting mushrooms growing that everyone else seems to be eating?
Bogroth is just holding 3 mushrooms, just staring at Yip Yap. Why do you have your pseudo dragon on my head?
That's a very good question to which I do not know the answer.
I think you're a liar.
Also, as you four are like walking and talking down this path, you start to see it's kind of like splitting off in different directions, and many of the Rai and Limrius folk are going in these different directions, seemingly without thinking.
Mm.
A lot of people actually, Yip Yap, Isaiah, make a perception check for me, please.
While they're making their perceptions checks, I'm going to go full Fourth Doctor and take the 3 mushrooms and pin them to my lapel.
Okay, some of the little like sap or whatever comes out of mushrooms kind of drips down your suit.
Ew.
It's luminescent, just like the plant. Oh my god! Okay.
Hey
So
man, I
Yip-Yap,
don't see nothing, bro.
You're too enthralled by everything around you, but
Yo.
Isaiah, it is easy for you to tell that the Rai folk in Limrius that are walking around you are staring at you and Yip Yap specifically. And they're just like whispering to each other before walking along.
Hey, that's rude.
I briefly wonder if it's because he was on my head, or if perhaps we are a bit more drab than this light-themed gaudy palace.
Who knows?
Also, Yip Yap, did you get smarter?
No.
No? Okay.
With his intelligence of 2.
Why? What?
That is all.
Does the bioluminescence like stain? Does it actually does it complement what I'm wearing, or does it contrast to it? Because I'm
It's
wearing like
glowing.
red and green.
You're wearing red and green. You picked up 3 mushrooms. I'm gonna say that all 3 of them are like it's the 3 colors: blue, green, and purple. It to a normal person, it's not staining though. To a normal person, however, it would look disgusting. But the people around you in their flashy, like Met Gala-esque outfits are just kind of like nodding appreciatively to you before walking along. And
Nice.
some of them are pinning mushrooms to their lapels and such.
Mushroom lapels are cool. And now it begins a trend that lasts for years.
I made a trend today.
Fools, I am a trendsetter.
I would like to just have some detect magic on at all times right now. So
Okay.
I assume these are magic mushrooms.
Literally everything
yeah,
is
they are.
glowing.
Do I know what kind of magic?
Dark magic.
African American magic, please.
Whoa.
No, not juju.
Yo.
Fine, drow magic, please.
It's a lot of it is Feywild type discordance happening around you, but you also feel a heavy amount of illusion magic from the other party members, like party goers, not your party, but like the people walking around.
Well, they are Limriuses, so that makes sense. Or not Limriuses. Sorry.
The Rai folk, yeah.
Rai folk, yes.
And as you get closer, the illusion magic kind of gets stronger and stronger.
Rye, Delilah.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. What is abjuration magic again?
It abjures. I think it's like shielding stuff, right?
Summoning. Oh well, yeah, you're right. It is like shielding spells.
Okay, that's not what I'm thinking of then. I'm thinking conjuration magic. You also sense a little bit of conjuration magic coming from the palace.
Interesting logistics question. Does Balgroth take the pseudo dragon off his head?
Yes.
Okay. Pseudo dragon goes back into my hood.
So you
I
got
have
some
literally
conjuration coming from the
just
castle?
the mention of it intimidated him so much that he left on my head and sat by you.
Oh.
No, you said there's conjuration coming from the castle?
Yes.
All right.
I thought you said conjugation magic. I'm like, what? What does English have to do with this?
Oh no.
Conjugation station? Is that what it
Spin
is?
magic.
So, yes. You guys continue to walk, and you come to a part of the path that completely just goes off into different directions. And at this point, it's really hard to tell exactly which path will lead to the castle, as it seems to just continue around in this giant garden. There are three paths in front of you. One goes to the right, left, and one goes like kind of straight, but also like turns a lot before disappearing behind a bunch of plants.
Are we the ones leading this caravan?
I mean, it's the four of y'all.
Are we the problem?
People are going in all the directions, but you don't know exactly which one is going to end up at the castle, because it doesn't seem like anyone is in the like a biggest rush to get to the castle right now, as the event has just kind of started and people are just getting there.
Is there anyone like my height? Like there's no halflings around or
No. And there's no children either. It's all either Rye or Limrius, and then y'all.
we should ask for directions.
That's not a bad idea.
Aren't we just
That is
going to
true.
the big castle with like the center of it?
Well, the problem is it looks like some people go that way, and some people go that way, and some people go both ways.
It doesn't.
I certainly
seem to
don't go
be-
both ways, Yip Yap. I'm not sure about you.
I don't know if we're talking about the same thing anymore.
Balgroth almost choking on his own spit.
Move this conversation and get some help to the location we're supposed to go to.
Exactly. It doesn't seem like there's any particular direction that leads directly to the castle. So
Not that you
any
can tell, no.
right. So there should be at least someone who could be able to tell us. He just pokes his head out of the caravan and looks towards someone.
No, you're not in the caravan anymore. Y'all are walking.
Oh,
We
okay.
are-
So he just, I guess he just walks over to someone and asks, hey, would you mind telling us the direction towards the castle?
Roll a perception. Not perception, persuasion. A female Rye kind of looks up at you and
Kidding me?
just kind of takes in your appearance before she kind of turns up her head and continues walking along.
Oof. I've been there, big guy.
Do you mind if I try and persuade her?
She's already gone.
It's like, why would you ask?
Just try going for another person.
I'm going to go to someone and just say, hello, do you mind telling me the direction to the castle?
Roll a persuasion. You have approached a male Limrius who has like silvery feathers and such, and he's kind of he's observing the flora very closely. And he looks up at you.
Oh, that's nonsense.
He kind of looks up at you. What was your question again? I'm sorry.
Do you mind pointing us in the direction of the castle? We have an important function we have to get to.
Oh, well, everyone's going to this important function, my friend. But if this is your first time, it certainly looks like it's your first time. Just take the leftmost path the entire way, and you shall get there quickly.
Thank you, sir.
Of course. And he goes back to observing the plants.
All right, guys, follow me.
Balgroth follows, mumbling to himself, I am a prince, damn it.
Yes, and I am a negotiator.
Are you, though?
Sometimes some things require a strong arm and other things require a soft arm.
Right.
Yeah, like slapping a kid.
Balgroth.
Perhaps he meant robbing people in their sleep.
I was under mind control.
Always excuses, never apologies. Anyway, let's.
I've already apologized.
I remember that.
Does anybody else hear us arguing like this?
They do. They don't care.
I've already apologized.
All right. Take your word for it.
Okay. As the four of you make your way down the leftmost path, as instructed by the Silver Limrius, two very sharply dressed rye folk they were on the side of the trail before, but they see you approaching and they kind of step up to you. One has a very dark exoskeleton. It's almost obsidian, like as it shimmers under the excess of the light around you. The other has a very pale exoskeleton, which is white as bone and matte as stone. Their suits are similar in design to each other. The dark one's tailcoat is bright blue. It is a very, very bright blue, one that rivals the afternoon sky in the summer, and it's decorated with pearlescent buttons and chains. The shirt underneath is the sort of pink that like you feel in your throat when you look at it. That makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to any of y'all. And his pants match the suit. As for the pale rye folk, it is the same style of tailcoat suit, but his coat and pants reflect a purple night sky, which is fully equipped with blinking lights of white and yellow to mimic the stars. And his shirt underneath is a very emerald green that kind of makes your teeth tingle when you look at it. And the paler one speaks up first. His wings create like a soft cricketing sound that surrounds y'all, and his voice is like carved wood. Hello, friends. You seem lost. Do you need help finding the entrance hall?
Yes.
Yes, we would love to have help finding the entrance hall.
Indeed.
Direction us in a point.
Luckily for you four, we were heading that way. You notice, as he talks, his mouth is moving very oddly. He has a sort of like, hemipteran beak, which I believe is very prominent with praying mantis bugs. But it's moving just up and down. It's not matching his words at all. It's just moving up and down. And they both have like feelers that come down from the top of their beaks. They're like thin mustaches. And the darker one speaks up and he says, Come, fellows. We have a story to see out this night, and we don't want to miss any chapters. And they start walking with y'all to the entrance hall.
Master Mantis?
And they actually end up taking you down a path that is different than what the Limrius told you to take, and y'all end up getting there very quickly.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Master Mantis?
A story?
I just made a Kung Fu Panda joke. Don't worry.
Right.
After stories?
Yeah, the mention of stories triggers something within Balgroth, and it reminds him of the two storytellers that were at the inn. So and so he begins to ask, so what stories are you talking about?
The pale one kind of turns his head, and it makes like a cracking noise when it turns, but it's not like a sudden turn, and it doesn't go all the way around like in Paranormal Activity. He just turns it. Oh, a story. Well, we're here to see the story about the queen and the princess. Something spectacular is said to happen tonight, and we are very much looking forward to seeing it play out. Why are you four here? A different story, perhaps?
Well, yes, we're here to celebrate the return of the prince. We were the ones who returned him to this kingdom, and so we want to see him well and see him off.
when you say that you were the ones that returned him, both of the Rye folk kind of stop and turn towards you, and they look excited, but expression is very hard to tell on insect faces. And they just kind of lean in closer. You were the four that brought back the prince. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Interesting story y'all have. We look forward to see how it plays out. Shall we continue? And they start walking again.
They're suspicious. I want to ready an action. If they like turn on us with weapons, I am. If they turn on us with weapons, I am throwing 2 of my daggers into them. I'm readying that action.
All right.
So it looks like I just have my hands resting on my stomach, but really my thumbs are looped behind the dagger pommels poking up from under my cummerbund.
Yeah.
Right.
So, the kind of darker one trails back a little bit and looks down at Yip Yap, and he just kind of tilts his head. Where'd you get those knives? I've been meaning to find one.
They should be hidden in a way to where they don't look like
I know
knives.
they're hidden.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
You know, the stab place that sells stabby implements.
Is it outside on the outer city?
Yeah.
We'll have to look.
Yeah.
The weapon stores in the inner city are very lackluster. They seem to take quality, or at least look over function.
Ah.
Eventually, unless y'all want to talk to them anymore, y'all get to the entrance hall, and the doors are still quite large. It looks like what's the next step up from a large creature? Is it huge?
Yeah.
It looks like a huge creature could easily fit through these doors. And you are met with the entrance hall. There's some decorations, very large paintings depicting the royal family throughout the generations they've been around with this kingdom, which so far has only been 3. You see the first painting they all kind of have the same kind of feel to them. It is a king and a queen, and then at least 2 children. The second generation had 3 children. And this current generation is a painting of just the queen and her 2 children, one of which you recognize to be a slightly younger Stolas.
It's Solus. Don't.
Indeed it is. But where's the king?
I thought that the king was supposed to die upon reproduction in these families.
Exactly. But in all the others, he appears to be there. What? Something's going on here.
Maybe it's like they get sick and die. So there's like still time?
Oh, I think it's something like they get sick and die.
Or maybe twins and triplets.
As in, the kings are twins and triplets, so they have a stand-in for the picture?
Had a couple of... Well, you know, bodies are still around after they die. They don't, like, disappear or something. What do you think this is, a game?
Isaiah, if you would like to make an insight check, you are more than welcome to.
Easily.
Why? I saw the body of my girl.
You can look close at the paintings. It's oil paintings, so the expressions are very blurry because that amount of detail isn't very pliable yet with their current knowledge of painting. It's more or less just the bodies, and the faces are very like blurry.
And there's no magic on these.
No, there's no magic on the painting themselves.
Do I pick up anything as I observe it?
You notice, in assumption that you are focusing on the Stolas painting the most.
Yes.
You notice that his kind of exoskeleton is a lot less green than it has been when he's been with you. It's a much more like almost like a leaf just beginning to turn brown in the fall kind of green. Where when he's been with you, it's been a kind of not a bright green, but like a prominent green.
Oh.
I would like to take out my locust meter.
All right.
Let's see.
Your what?
I would
He
like.
has a fancy thing.
I have a fancy thing. And I would like to somewhat discreetly ask. I'll ask. Are the deaths of the monarchs natural, or of these Rye monarchs natural?
I'll send you the answer.
Excellent. And I think
I didn't mean for that to be in all caps. I'm sorry.
Is the Queen Mother to be trusted?
Did I say how many things you could ask it at once?
You did. Well, 3 a day.
Right.
This magical item is just commune.
It's really more of a magic 8-ball.
What was your question again? I didn't hear it.
Is the Queen Mother to be trusted?
But that is commune.
It's different.
There.
I'd let you read it, but I'm not allowed to.
Yip Yap's gonna look around to see if he sees Stolas.
You don't. You see the painting.
Oh.
I found him. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Do you have a third question to ask, or no?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
When will Yip Yap stop being insufferable?
Never.
Ask again later.
So y'all continue walking until you get to the dining hall, where people are beginning to filter in as the moon is beginning to rise. And the dining hall seems to go on for like a mile. It is humongous. Like, imagine the dining hall in Harry Potter, but it's just one table that goes straight on. And the table itself is made out of a very dark wood and has very intricate designs on the legs of the table, which there are many of. It almost looks like kind of a centipede or a millipede has been carved into the table in the way that the legs look. The design on the top of the table is obscured by a kind of gossamer like tablecloth that covers the entire table. And on the legs, you can see that a glowing substance similar to the plants outside has kind of been embedded into the wood to kind of add to the design. And on either side of the table, there are 50 chairs, making a total of 100, that lead up to the end of the table, where a large cushion is noticeable with 2 chairs on either side of it. And there are plates at each of the seats telling you where yours is. And your 2 friends who have escorted you up here, the pale and dark Rye folk, they kind of nod to you and they fly off to where their seats are.
When Yip Yap sits down, or crawls into his chair, I should say, his pseudo dragon is just going to come down through his sleeve, and his sleeve is up under the. Is there a tablecloth?
Yeah, it's a gossamer tablecloth.
Okay.
Very thin, but like also very dark.
Up under, and the pseudo dragon is just gonna be patrolling around, crawling on the underside of the table, just in case, like keeping tabs on like conversations in case anything interesting pops up.
I thought you were saying he was crawling under the tablecloth.
No.
And I was like, that's not very discreet, sir. Roll a stealth check for your pseudo dragon.
Okay, pseudo rolls a stealth check. Okay. Come on, buddy. I know you're not as stealthy as me, so you can do
Pseudo stealth.
Hey, he has a +4 to stealth. It's the same as me, actually. Oh!
Okay.
Can I spend my inspiration? Wait, he himself has an inspiration point. How are we gonna do the inspiration? Are we gonna go with the higher or do I reroll?
You reroll. I do rerolls.
Okay. I'm also gonna turn off rolling with advantage because I'm sure that affects damage.
I think it does. I don't know.
How?
I mean, it's technically different, but not in the way you wanted.
Can we just go with the 15, please?
Tell me a joke.
Oh no! You put me on the spot.
Why can't the skeleton go to the prom?
What did the rye say to the other rye?
You got some?
What?
Okay.
Man, there sure ain't whiskey.
Reed is just being.
I mean, I was going to go with rice to see you, but okay.
That's racist.
Oh no. I don't know. You put me on the spot.
You'll use the 11.
Go to the prom.
Okay.
Because you made that joke on the spot, and I applaud you for that. So you get the 11 roll. Your pseudo dragon. No one is really that conscious of what's going on underneath the table. They don't care that much. They're just finding their seats. They might feel something brush up against their legs, and that will cause them to like slightly freak out. But they don't want to cause a scene, so they stay quiet.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, hey, there's someone watching. Nice.
Really?
If any, yeah, like any like high profile conversations, like hey, we're gonna kill the king tonight, or something like that, like that kind of stuff. He's gonna cue me in on.
Okay, cool.
Just
I'll keep
hear
that in mind.
the keyword moida.
Mortar.
Okay, so yes. After some looking, I mean, as you all get to your seats, the only other species in this room are Rye and Limrius. There are no humans, no any sort of other species. Y'all stand out pretty drastically, even with your bright suits, and Yip Yap and Isaiah, y'all stand out like a sore thumb.
Do I stand out?
No, you're wearing a bright red suit, and you look human. I mean, you're human to them. They just think it's kind of weird. Some of them kind of do like they're all kind of looking at you for like a second, and then they go back to their own stuff.
I could disguise self to look like a Limrius, or not a Limrius, a Rye.
Maybe, but it would be obvious now if you did.
Oh.
I just smirk like being the center of attention.
Oh yes, attention. Give it to me.
Yip Yap's gonna pull the
compliments.
Yip Yap pulls the hood down a little further down his face.
Y'all are able to find your seats after some looking, because they're a lot further down the table than you expected. As in, they are closer to the head of the table than you expected them to be. Your seats, there's 2 on each side for all 4 of you. Isaiah and Kano, y'all are seated on the right side of the table, and Yip Yap and Balgroth, y'all are seated on the left side, directly across from them.
Nice.
Is that from the perspective of one looking toward the head seat, or
Yes.
from the head seat? Toward.
Looking at the head seat. There's also from the head seat, between y'all and that, there are 4 empty seats on either side of the table that lead up to the head of the table. That large cushion, basically. And those 8 seats, technically in total, are filled up very quickly with very kind of classy. Like their outfits aren't as loud or gauzy as the rest of the place, but they look important. And they all have a sort of like notebook or scroll that they are writing in with various colored quills.
Yip Yap takes out his parchment that he's kind of started collecting into a spell book tome, and you said they were actively using their sketchbooks, or they just grabbed, or their writing stuff, or they just grabbed out the supplies.
Some of them have began writing already.
Okay.
And are they just regular people at the table or like special people?
I mean, they're ahead of you on the table. You would assume that the closer they are to the head of the table, the more important they are.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yip Yap is going to start jotting down in Thieves' Camp a will.
To my pseudo dragon, I leave everything,
Yeah.
including Kano's money.
One
Excuse
monocle.
me.
Wait, it's across the table. He can't see it. The
You
only
can't
one who
read.
can see it is
And
me,
that was
and it's
also
in
a
Thieves'
meta
Camp, so I
joke.
can't read it.
It's
You can't,
also
neither of you can read.
it's in Thieves' Camp.
So
Yeah.
I can't
And-
read. Nobody can read it but him.
And once y'all have found your seats, we are going to take a break because we are at the hour mark, which means I get to play the break music, which is my favorite.
Do, do,
Let me
do,
see.
do, do.
So the question is, do I actually go get food or get ice cream? That's
Okay, no,
Ooh.
dos, Jeremiah.
All right. I will be back.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yep.
Heads, I get food. Tails, I get ice cream. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
I'll be right back.
Tails.
Ice cream it is. I'll be back.
I'll eat too.
So Dennis, how's the military stuff going on? Is it going well?
Oh yeah, it's going wonderful. There's a lot of things that are happening this year that's really good. Like I've had a lot of leadership opportunities, even this early on in the semester, and I think I've done a lot to not just improve myself, but actually like be an effective leader.
Well, good. I think that's one of the benefits of being in the military from the perspective of someone who's not.
Yeah.
And
The
I'm
free
just glad that
college is
you're
also
getting
really
something
nice.
out of that.
The free college is also really nice.
Mhm.
I used to have that, but now I don't anymore.
Dang.
This is what happens when you transfer.
Yeah. Yes.
I probably won't even make it to school tomorrow, so probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the entire day just applying for scholarships.
Really.
That's why I didn't go to college.
Well, for me, it's seminary. I have to fill up about like $4,000 to come up with the rest of the money that I need for tuition for every semester.
My boy Jerry gonna get paid.
I need to get paid, but I don't. I don't.
I'd like to make some jokes, but I feel like they're just all really inappropriate, and I'm trying to make food.
Nothing is ever free.
But I hope you get paid.
Trying to keep the stream available. Smash cut to the error static. Speaking of D&D games, if you like D&D games, he also DMs a game that's effectively been pushed into a miniature hiatus that I hope will resolve soon. Most of the gang from here, sans Captain Calvinist, I just acted like I had glasses still on, played in a 2-shot Halloween game over on my YouTube that I'm currently working on processing the second half for. We are at 10.5% completion.
Nice.
So you can watch.
Let's see, where am I attending seminary? Beeson Divinity School.
You can watch me corral these hooligans.
That's in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the biggest city, but not the capital city.
Okay.
Birmingham. Which is actually the name of a city in Great Britain.
Really?
Yeah.
But did someone actually interact with us on the live? Holy moly,
Yeah.
someone is interacting.
On Twitch? Or on here?
On Twitch.
Hi, Twitch.
See, we're actually making content for people. It's not just for us.
Yay.
We're making a difference in people's lives.
For this month, I'm doing costumes. I'm the shady rogue this week.
Are you doing online or are you on campus? I'm on campus. Beeson prides itself on, having in-person classes. One of your players has a fan. I think I know who that is.
Who is this?
I'm confused.
One of your players has a fan?
I'm really confused who this is.
What?
Who is this individual?
I know.
Who is it?
That's for me to know, and you all to use your critical thinking skills to find out.
Is it a certain someone who also commented on my game while you were playing?
Jeremiah, is this your GF?
No, she's not mine.
Oh.
Dale?
Mickey's asleep right now.
I don't think it was Dale. Oh.
Dale getting the maidens?
Impossible.
Inconceivable.
No, you beat me to it.
Absolutely confounding.
I was going to do it in the voice, though, so inconceivable. Well, I failed at doing it in the voice, but...
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Never go against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Nice, right then and there.
Oh, I am very diabolical. You should have seen the earlier arc of Captain Calvinist's campaign with Athanasius. I was a terrible person.
That reminds me. Whose campaign are we doing this Saturday? Steven's or Dennis's?
I guess we can probably do mine. I won't be on campus Saturday. I'm gonna be at my pastor's house, so I have actually a lot more private time to do stuff.
Okay.
Nice. I will need to rewatch last session.
Oh, same.
Please do so.
Literally forgotten everything. Other than that, my brother is there, I guess.
Paragon of righteousness walking into the tiefling land.
I
can see the chat.
I mean, Jeremiah, your character wasn't really even in the last session.
That's true.
We get to find out what happened to you.
Yep.
And you get to find out why I bought duck dice.
Oh my god, no.
You bought duck
hate-
dice?
I showed them off. Are you?
I know you did, but I hate that story.
I love it. It's
That was funny.
It was funny, but it went on for so long.
The
So-
duck walked
And it
up
was
to the
so
lemonade stand.
I bought one set, and
Mhm.
I couldn't find where I couldn't find any evidence that I did, so I bought another. So I have 2 sets.
Intriguing. Did they come at the same time?
No. Why can't I see anything in the chat? I thought we had a spectator.
It's in the comments section, not the private chat.
No, I meant on Twitch.
Oh,
I can see it on Twitch.
I can't. Reveal yourself.
Oh no. Anyway, we are going to continue. Is Dale here?
I don't think so.
Oh no. He'll never know.
Oh, Captain Dale. No, sorry.
His character has been shot through the head with an arrow. I rolled for it off screen.
Shot through the heart. You too.
Anyway.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
Bad
left.
Pop
Oh, okay.
over here. So, I want all of you to make a perception check for me. And Dale, if you can hear me, that would be appreciated.
Start without him.
I mean, we had to start without him last session.
That's true. Hey, nice.
Not bad, not bad.
I'm using the last inspiration point I have.
Hey, it's a little bit better. The DC is
Slightly
not high
better.
for this anyway. Yep, yeah.
Wow.
Perception.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's alright.
Sorry, weird voice in my head.
Yeah, he
You're
couldn't
alright.
see it.
I'm God, son. Oh my god!
Are you kidding me?
I won't roll for Isaiah because this is specific for each character. So starting with Balgroth. Balgroth, you notice those 2 Rye that kind of ended up leading you to the entrance hall to begin with, and they're like looking at cards between them, like they're going back and like they're sitting right next to each other, and they're like passing cards back and forth between each other and just looking at what's on them before putting them back into a deck and then drawing a new one. Okay. And yeah, they're just kind of not snickering, but they're definitely having a good time looking at these cards. Kano, you kind of smell something in the air. Whereas beforehand, the banquet hall, dining hall, kind of smelled like fresh food and very nice drink. Your nostrils are like, oh, there he is. Your nose is like, it feels like someone is shoving a knife of alcohol up your nose. That is all you can smell right now, is just booze, and it's crappy booze.
1 second before you come to me, someone tried to call me and it's messed up my audio.
Okay, we'll go to Isaiah
So-
then.
I'm a pop in and out. I'm sorry.
That's fine, we'll just go to Isaiah. Isaiah, you notice that some people are kind of like, the food has not been brought out yet, by the way, but you're noticing that some people have kind of brought food in. More specifically, they've brought in those mushrooms that were on the path, and they were just like snacking on them as various things are happening around them, and everyone's getting like a nice chuckle out of it.
Interesting.
And I will wait for you if you have to get back.
Can I do a plug while
Yeah, go ahead.
Great. So I'd like to thank the sponsors of today's videos.
Mm.
Lesbian. Because who needs a good relationship with your father when you can just get in your Supro to get away from your domestic abuse situation?
Wait, what?
Thank you.
What are you doing? What was that?
For a sponsor.
Huh?
Huh?
What?
What?
I denounced everything. No.
We don't have a sponsor. Don't do that.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh my god. Anyway, Yip Yap, you notice, you notice the ride with the cards. You can also smell booze. And when you look up at the ceiling, you notice that there are some parts in the ceiling that look like doors.
Look like what? Someone coughed.
It looks like doors. Like there are segments in the ceiling that have been cut out, very similar to the trap doors that were in the Crossroads Inn. This NordVPN.
Today's stream is sponsored by NordVPN.
Yes, and with that, the chatter kind of dies down, and this kind of music starts up, if you can hear it on Roll20. As the doors on the other side of the dining hall from which you entered are opened up, and this like cloud of dramatic mist comes spilling out from the doors as a very, very, very tall figure kind of steps out, and they still have to like lower their head as they walk inside from these doors that can hold a huge creature. And you watch as a light kind of bounces across the room from the moonbeams that are now streaming in from the parts of the roof that are made out of glass. And they're bouncing off 3 sets of prismatic wings with beautiful designs, very intricate, lots of colors, as they are spread out from this figure. And everyone turns to look as the queen and her children walk into the dining hall. Finally. And 2 sets of twig-thin arms kind of sweep out over the crowd before she lands on 3 sets of pointed legs. And she is otherworldly, I guess. Like a constellation that has been brought to life. She is glowing and shimmering with the light that is reflecting off of her own wings. She's like ethereality incarnate. And her children kind of fly behind to the side of her, which is Stolas and his older sister, Aya. And Stolas, as the queen lands down on her cushion, her legs kind of fold in underneath her like a horse or a cat, however have you. And her children sit on the 2 chairs on either side of her. Stolas sits on the left, which is the side Balgroth and Yip Yap are on, whereas Aya kind of sits on the right, where Isaiah and Kano are. Stolas gives a very composed smile to Balgroth as he nods his head and sits down, and Aya acknowledges Isaiah and Kano with a very curt nod. And she is very much like her mother, very similar kind of like the 2 sets of arms, the 3 sets of legs. And she has these small halos of light that are kind of circling around her head in different directions as she sits down. And her face is very stoic with 4 sets of eyes kind of looking out over the crowd. And the queen, one of the queen's wings rises, and the music kind of settles down, and she addresses the company. Tonight we have some special guests, the adventurers who kindly returned the prince, my son, to our kingdom. And she gestures to the 4 of y'all. She barely has to lean forward for her arms to gesture over the top of you 4. And there is a very soft, polite applause with like chirps and whistles as like a very soft cheering type.
Yip Yap bows.
Yes. You guys can get up from your seats and bow if you wish.
They wouldn't see me if I got up.
Kano does so. Kano this entire time is going to be incredibly nervous.
That's fair.
Balgroth does just eating all of this up.
Do I have a regular seat or do I have like a child's seat?
You
or
have
something?
a regular seat.
Oh, okay.
I'll
As
get
I
up
do
and
you do
give a
anything?
flourishy bow.
Jeremiah, what did you say?
People are
Oh.
bowing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
like,
was
yeah.
asking Isaiah what he was doing.
Oh.
I misunderstood what Balgroth said then. So Balgroth, you're not. Okay, never mind.
So
I'm sorry. I thought he was getting up to like bow or pay respect or something, and then
Yeah, I did. I got up and
yeah.
bowed,
Yes,
smirking,
no,
and
that's what I'm
eating
doing.
all
I'm
of this
getting up
up.
and I'm giving a very flourishy bow that he's just having trouble hiding how he really feels about things in life as he does this, but he's trying.
yes.
So, Yip Yap's gonna direct the pseudo dragon just mental telepathy to be like card guys and like direct them to the place just to listen in for anything, like if they're talking about what might happen.
Okay. So the queen speaks up once again. Her voice is very chirpy as well. It's literally as if a cricket has just learned how to speak English.
Oh wow!
I don't
In
know any
honor
Hindi.
of our gracious guests, we shall have a celebratory performance typically reserved for the full moon nights. And as she says this, a bigger applause erupts at the prospect of this performance that is going to happen tonight. And with away from two of her hands, food and drink kind of fly out over the crowd, like on plates and pitchers, before kind of settling banquet style across the whole table. And there are all kinds of food present. There are mostly fruits and vegetables, but there is also meat options and dairy and that sort of stuff. And all of you can roll an insight check for me.
None of it's real. All of it's fake. It is a lie. The cake is a lie.
It's the imagination food from Peter Pan.
It's the tree of might.
Okay.
Oh, is Yip Yap rolling insight?
Yeah, all of you insight.
Yes, all of us.
Okay.
Dice hate me. I don't know what I did.
You got a nat 20.
Right, you did get one nat 20.
Isaiah, are you gonna roll an insight?
I'm trying.
Oh.
I'm trying.
I'm going to show solidarity with my boys.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So Jeremiah and Kano,
Our insight comrade.
y'all are able to tell that some people. It seems the way that you can get food you want, like stuff that's like at the far end of the table, anything. All you have to do is say what you want that is on the table, and the whole plate will kind of pick itself up and fly to you, so you can grab a helping of it.
Bacon.
There is no straight bacon. That doesn't exist in this kingdom.
Pork belly.
Pork belly.
So what flies to you, Kano, is a plate of it is similar to bacon. It is very thinly sliced pieces of pig. It has been like fried and whatever, but it's like the size of my hand.
Wee ball.
What?
A wee ball. I'm eating it.
Oh, you can grab a helping.
I will grab a generous helping.
Okay, that's about 3 slices before it flies away to the next person.
Is there anything raw? Is there anything uncooked, raw?
The only uncooked stuff would be the fruit and vegetables.
Okay, yep, just gonna... Is there any fish?
There is fish, yes.
Fish, please!
What flies to you is a kind of basket of, like, grilled fish. The heads are still on as well. It's grilled fish, kind of all different kinds of fish, especially locally, like, just stuff like that. Nothing, like, it's all freshwater fish.
Yep takes as much as he can.
You can take about 2 before it flies away. Ball grab, Isaiah.
I would like to, I'll fill my plate. I'll get some, of course, meat and dairy, but some fruits and veggies as well to make Mom proud.
Cool.
Yeah,
Balgroth.
and go on, Barbara.
Balgroth chuckles to himself. Peasants. And so he begins to order and take from like the finest pieces of food, like the best cuts of meat from all the meats, and the best pieces of vegetables, and then gets the finest of wines and fills his goblet with it, and then just fashions his cravat before he digs in elegantly.
Of course. And y'all would notice that despite all the food that is flying around, none of it's falling off the plates, for one. Two, the royal family are eating completely different food than to what is being offered to the guests. It looks similar, like it is also fruits and vegetables and meat, but it's all a slightly different color than it should be. Should be. Whatever.
This is how magic is this food, no?
Are you doing detect magic on it?
Always.
Right, it's always
it stays for a while. It's not like it goes away. It's a ritual.
right. It is. You don't sense much magic other than like there's no magic on the food. There's a little bit of conjuration magic.
Sure, with the stuff flying around. Yeah, I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
So this isn't like. All right.
And you can taste it. It tastes like what's on the plate. Like, it's very real. It's in your mouth.
But it looks a little weird.
The royal family's food looks weird. Your food looks normal.
Interesting.
And
chowing down unceremoniously.
Yep. I'm going to send you something since your little pseudo dragon is listening in on the card, guys. And you guys, of course, are free to interact with each other. You can interact with the people sitting beside you if you so wish.
So, who is sitting beside Balgroth?
On your left is Yip. On your right is one of those kind of scribes that I was describing earlier. They're not eating. They're simply writing. They might have like a glass of wine in front of them, but they are not eating any food.
I slightly peek over to see what they're writing.
It's in a language you don't understand.
I turn to them and say, what you doing? We're in the midst of a grand banquet, and you and your friends are over here writing.
He kind of looks up at you and just kind of like glances at you for a second, takes in your appearance, and clears his throat. We are taking notes of what is happening for the records of this night. It's a very special celebration, so records must be taken.
Understood. He's tempted to press in a bit further, but doesn't want to continually distract him from his work.
And At so that moment, Balgroth, you hear in your head as Yip uses limited data message.
He dials a phone right next to you. Something's going.
I relate.
I'm sorry, this is my pager.
I'm like, hey, I'm listening in, and I'm like whispering this, but you hear, I'm listening in on like the card guys somehow followed us here, and this is what they're saying.
Great story is going to be told tonight.
And I'm just going to keep relaying as anything comes to me from that group.
Okay.
Balgroth raises his eyebrow as he picks up the last statement. Okay.
Oh my god.
He begins to detect. He begins to look around a little bit more, possibly looking outside.
You hear a much more
anything out there.
You hear a much more frantic Yip relay the following.
Belgroth gasps a little, and a small bead of sweat begins to form on the roof of his head. And he begins to he looks at the queen, but not directly in the eyes, and then
She has
begins to
many
observe.
eyes.
And then begins to observe around the area. Do I see anything else?
Ooh, did you roll perception? I'm sorry.
Oh, let me actually do that. Let me use my peepers.
Okay, so Balgroth, you look out the windows. There are like wall-to-wall windows, and of course there are the windows that are in the ceiling. Outside, you just really see the garden of the glowing plants. You can also see some figures moving around, but it could easily be said that like they are taking care of the plants. You can see that they're like plucking things off, they're like trimming things. These are essentially gardeners.
Uh-huh. And the same for the glass that I see at the top of the place.
There's nothing really coming in through the ceiling glass. It's just the night sky. There's like 2 moons in the sky. 2 moons? Yeah, 2 moons in the sky. And there's no one on the roof. That would be too noticeable.
But there's a fiddler, right?
There's a fiddler on the roof. On the roof.
If I were a rich man.
Okay. I mean, you two are more than welcome to like talk to the party. The table is like across from each other. I would say it's about the length of 2 regular dining tables, like the width.
All right.
I mean, the width.
I slightly lean over to motion to the rest of the party. Brothers, we should be on our guard. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have a bad feeling about this, and it might concern the queen.
11. What is that?
14, 15, 16.
Your guess is as good as mine,
18, 19,
but I don't
20,
know.
You just think something in general is wrong?
22, 23, 24, 25. At that moment, the limited words from EPAP's limited data message come into your mind, Kano. As I realize that I need to find your Discord and relay this to you.
Did you see the new message I sent you, by the way?
I did.
Okay.
I could only send 25 words in toto, though, because of my silly limitation.
Yeah, I know.
I need to pay for more data. I'm sorry, my plan is just not that good. Should have switched to AT&T.
Should switch to AT&T.
After some like conversations here and there at the table, the queen speaks up once again. And now we shall begin the show. And she raises both of her right arms as from those trapdoors I kind of explained earlier. Those open and cages are lowered from the ceiling. Gold and silver cages kind of leisurely swing back and forth, as within the cages are what seem to be bright white lights flitting back and forth between the bars. And everyone is able to notice this. It's a very bright thing that happens as they're being lowered.
Valgroth just stares in awe a little bit.
Just Kano's eyes are narrowing. He knows what these are.
Mm-hmm. And within the cages are, as they don't get close to the crowd. I'd say they'd still remain above, like the ceiling is about 30 feet up. These cages are about 20 feet up from y'all. But you can hear that very animalistic growls and shrieks are coming from whatever is inside of these cages, and they are shaking very violently against the bars. But servants against the wall, Rye servants, spread their wings to reflect the dim light up towards the cages that create streaks of very vibrant color. And this causes the creatures to de escalate their reactions. Soon, they begin to sing. It's not like word singing, it sounds more like detuned instruments mixed discordantly in a way. It sounds off, but it sounds very good as well. It's very well blended despite being off tune. The tunes still blend together. And it's imitations of violins and cellos and pianos and flutes, which all fill the air at a volume that is still soft enough where casual conversation can still be heard. And some conversations start up as this performance continues on, many making notes about how lucky they are to see a performance like this when it's not a full moon and things like that.
Well, this is new.
Interesting.
This is
I've never seen anything like this before.
It's
So my pseudo dragon is as a statue, by the way.
Oh, he's still there?
Yes, and also he is pretending to be a statue.
Kano is going to refuse to look at the lights.
Okay.
He can't bear to watch it.
And Balgroth looks, and then he hears what's been going on, and he begins to slowly and carefully look around the room, readying an action just in case.
Yip Yap is going to get lost looking at the lights.
Interesting. I guess I'll just slowly make sure I'm not going to be choking on food if something goes down.
Kano, make a perception check for me, please.
Oh, sorry. Give it a moment.
Did I just accidentally attack?
Did I accidentally cast fireball in the middle of this small room?
Shake water. They're all made of water.
Kano, from your vantage point, since you're not really looking at the lights where everyone else kind of is, your gaze naturally goes out the window, and you see a very familiar shape is kind of walking among the gardeners and things that are in the garden.
Are you okay?
I'm good. There's a very familiar shape that's kind of making his way through the other rye and things. He is not a rye. He has horns and a tail, and he is knocking the gardeners out.
Uh-oh.
Kano's going to lean into Balgroth. I found our assassin.
A bead of sweat begins to drip. This is not good. Should we take care of that before something happens?
He's outside right now knocking out the guards. If you want, we can go there now, but I highly doubt our ability to be able to stop him. And I can't. I don't know if I'll be able to effectively fight. I owe this man a debt.
If we all leave, it would disturb the guests too much. How about if I head out, I'll be able to take care of him before things get too crazy.
You couldn't handle him alone. You'd need one of us with you.
Oh, right in the pride.
He raises his eyebrow.
We'll both go. We'll leave Isaiah with Yip Yap.
All right.
Isaiah, you can hear this, by the way. He's sitting next to you.
I'm kind of just like, oh, we're making plans. Okay, great. I'll stay here and stay with Yip Yap then.
Yes, Isaiah.
Cool, thanks.
Also,
Although,
watch the queen.
I could go handle this one-on-one anyway. If you
No, you couldn't. Watch the queen. Make sure no other assassins slip through.
see what I can do.
And Balgroth gets up and begins to leave first.
Yeah, Kano's going with.
Are there
Okay,
birds in this
so-
building or no?
There are no Flogants, no. Balgroth and Kano, as y'all stand up, the guests, like, at least from 5 chairs down, all look at you. And the queen also kind of, like, tilts her head as y'all stand. It's very obvious that you're not supposed to get up during the performance.
Excuse
And
me,
we
ma'am.
immediately sit back. I immediately sit back down, knowing how pushy royalty can get.
Excuse me, ma'am. There appears to be an issue happening outside the window that has to be dealt with the utmost urgency.
And
Kano,
Balgroth tries to reach over and cover Kano's mouth.
Kano, as you address the queen, one of the scribes that is sitting next to you grabs your arm and pulls you back down into your seat and kind of whispers at you, "Now is not the time. If there is an emergency, it can be dealt with later."
Oh, and you want to say that to the passed out guards outside right now because someone's killing them?
Wait,
There's no one dying. We would know if someone is dying.
How about you look outside and you tell that to the bodies on the ground?
He is going to put his hand on the back of your head and pull you closer and say, "If someone was dying and if there was actual danger, the queen would know."
She's not. And Kano is going to just say this. She's not a effing god.
She doesn't have to be a god to know. She's there.
You're acting like she's omniscient.
All right. Can I have my crow fly and take a look at things outside? He has not entered the castle.
Oh, he's not in the castle? Yeah, you can have your crow like fly around. Where exactly do you want him to go?
In the sky, over where these things are occurring.
Okay.
In the sky.
Where the crow be?
From overhead, looking down onto the garden, most of the garden is blocked out by the like caps of really large mushrooms and trees and stuff. It's very hard to make out the path or even people walking on it from up high.
Well, I guess he's gonna have to get a little closer.
Yeah. Can everyone roll an perception at disadvantage for me?
Disadvantage.
Perception at disadvantage.
Fam, you could just take either one of those.
There's the first one. Oh, darn. Man, that's such a hard choice right there, what to go with.
Quick pass.
Yeah, perception check at disadvantage, please.
Make another 6 and we got a problem on our hands.
What do you mean problem? That's what I want. Ooh. Okay, that's in that one. So
6 is probably the other way it could be spelled.
Geez, the alcoholic doesn't know this.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
what?
Yeah, everyone except Yip Yap, because this was a very low DC, but you know what? Distractions. Everyone except Yip Yap, and I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, honestly. Yeah, I'll just say everyone can smell this. Kano, that booze smell you were like that was invading your nose earlier. All 4 of you can kind of smell that now. It's not as bad as when Kano was smelling it, but it definitely does not smell like any of the alcohol that is on the table.
Oh,
and
dear.
You can see other people are beginning to like turn their heads and like sniff at their food as this smell kind of starts to fill the room. And then suddenly, a Rye like slams his hands down on the table and stands up and looks at the Limrius that's across from him and just shrieks, "What do you know of music?" And they just get into an argument about what kind of classical music is better, flute or piano.
Oh, it's gonna be starting. We're gonna have an issue on our hands. I believe the assassin is inside now. This smell is very unwarranted, and this smells like his body odor. If we move towards the queen, if we move towards the queen, we can protect her more effectively. Just what I'm saying.
So before y'all can like make any moves, the queen kind of like she doesn't stand up completely, but she gets up on like her two front legs, pretty much, and her wings spread out very wide, and everyone kind of just naturally shuts up. But the creatures in the cages above, having like it seems like the arguments as they've been building up are kind of affecting these creatures, and they are getting a lot more violent as like they were when they first came down.
Oh.
They are the vibe check.
And I need everyone to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
No.
Oh dear.
Oof.
I got this.
Why are
I got this.
Yeah, boy!
Okay.
Connor.
I know. I'm doing it. I'm just
he
dreading.
sounds so sad.
Bad boy.
I'm just dreading the save because my rolls haven't been that great tonight.
Hey, not bad.
Okay. Yip yap. You were the only one affected by this. Who would be sitting directly across from you? I guess Isaiah is sitting directly across from you. You are very freaking angry at Isaiah right now. For any reason your brain can come up with, you hate that man.
How dare you be offended at my magic?
More happy to see me than he was previously. That's interesting.
You stuck up bow tie wearing magic man. How dare you?
How dare you?
And more people are getting into arguments along the table. And the queen, and it just looks distraught. Like people who normally listen to her. And the creatures in the cages are getting more and more violent. They're starting to shriek and scream from their cages, completely done singing now. As the cages swing back and forth, almost hitting the ceiling each time they swing.
The dice are letting Yip Yap down.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna do this just for funsies, just to see what I get. But y'all can talk to each other. Yip Yap, you're furious at Isaiah.
How dare you? Your tie doesn't even look good. Your hat looks stupid. Your spells are whack.
Well,
Everyone,
for someone whose opinion I respect as much as yours, I will take these things under appropriate consideration, Yip Yap. Also, you may want to lay off the booze.
Listen. We need to make it to the queen and make sure she's safe. This is the worst place for her to be. Everyone's distracted right now.
I'd like to cast a mage armor on myself.
Connor's gonna get up and he's gonna start moving. He's gonna start moving towards the queen.
And I'm gonna get up and start moving towards the queen and sort of halfish talking to her. Yeah, I haven't been necessarily in the ruling type yet, but I do get when difficult people won't listen to you. It usually doesn't happen much, but when it does, it's really annoying. I get that.
Do I perceive that there is magic afoot here with this anger?
Yes.
I would like to say, Your Majesty, I think there is foul play afoot right now with this sudden random spurts of anger from different people, this strange odor. I suggest you brace yourself.
What kind of accent even is that, anyways?
So, as y'all kind of, I guess, all three, I guess, of you are approaching the queen and trying to tell her this, she stands up to her full height, which is a huge-sized creature. I don't exactly remember how big those things are, but and as she stands up, she signals for guards to go up and take care of the cages. And she's just looking at the four of you. She's looking at everyone in the most confused manner. There is magic, but I've never felt this. And as she says that, the guards that had gone up to steady the cages The second that they touch it, they fall to the ground.
Oh.
Their wings are twitching and their eyes are a bright white. And the cages start to fall, and everyone please make a dex save.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
No!
Ah!
Ay.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
Deck save? Nah, fam. Sneak attack.
No!
So everyone except Isaiah.
No.
A cage.
I'm spending my inspiration to do that again.
Okay.
No!
Okay. No, that you pass. So, everyone except Isaiah and Yip Yap. A cage doesn't necessarily fall on top of you because you can see that they're falling and you get out of the way. However, pieces of the cage happen to scratch you up very violently. And Balgroth and Kano, each of you take 6 points of damage from falling cage.
Ah! Why?
That's a lot for a little yip yap.
And the creatures in the cages that are falling, they hover up and kind of look over the entire party. And most people are freaking out now. Like, they're trying to leave, but the creatures are focused on the queen. And she notices this. So she raises all, 3 sets of her wings, and there is a flash of very bright light, and she and her children are gone. And the statue kind of swarm around the room for a second. They're kind of ignoring people. It seems more like they're just trying to sniff out where the queen went, though they do spend a second longer over Isaiah and Kano before they go towards the large doors, screeching.
Can you describe these creatures again for me one more time?
So it looks like they're made out of pure light, but if you look close enough, they sometimes take the shape of either, they're very small too, they're tiny little things, but they can sometimes have the silhouette of a human or a rye or an animal of some kind before they become pure white light once again. And Kano would know these creatures to be called Satru.
These are Satru.
Satchels? Like man purses?
Satru.
Oh, and Yip, you are no longer angry at Isaiah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Isaiah. I don't know what came over me.
It's all right, Yip. I'm fairly used to people getting angry at me for no apparent reason. Magic is a strange thing. Now, I say, sort of cracking my knuckles, let's be about business, shall we? And I'd like to mage hand a drink to myself and take a quick sip.
Okay.
How's the vintage?
Very good.
He's not really much of a drinker, but he can appreciate that a drinker would like this.
Okay. Yip Yap has also been having as many glasses of wine as the magic would give him.
And I cast what? Okay. I cast Lay on Hands, both on myself and on Kano at level 2. Each of us getting at level 3. Each of us getting our health back. 6 points for him and 6 points for me.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, Balgroth.
You're fine. We just need to take care of those animals and find the queen. I don't think she's out of danger yet.
Well, do you want to try to get the animals first or find the queen first?
We should find the queen first. I think these animals are going to be handled quite swiftly by the guards.
Steven, I sent you something your pseudo dragon has heard. And you can make a perception check if you'd so like.
Me?
Anybody or Steven?
All of us, or
Steven, because he heard this through his pseudo dragon, so he can roll the perception for it.
oh,
I mean, your gauge would automatically go over to the two Rai that you were spying on.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't see specifically what they're doing, but they're still sitting down. They're not freaking out at all. They're just vibing with the cards.
Vibing with the cards. Do they have the heart?
The pseudo dragon is going to test something. He's going to crawl over, and is there a knee or appendage close to the table where he could just reach down and knock?
You're gonna bite them?
Yes.
A knee or appendage.
Sure.
Okay.
Roll to bite.
I don't really have an unarmed strike for my pseudo dragon. Wow, that page is taking forever to load.
Just straight roll to bite with one of your die or something.
Cool. Slash R1D20.
Okay, easy enough. It bites. It happens to bite the one that is drawing the card, and his body kind of jerks as he feels this bite, and he yells out. And you watch the card kind of go from his hand, and it lands on the ground. The card is glowing like a very bright blue as light is coming off of it. And he just looks to his friend, and he looks to the party, and he just shakes his head as a ogre mage is summoned from the card. And we're going to call the session there.
what?
The deck of illusions is a very fun thing, ain't it? Anyway.
A deck of oh my lordy.
That is going to be the session for today. Thank you to our viewer for watching. Very nice to have you. And anyone who may watch this on the YouTube, thank you for watching as well. And we will see you next week, unless I die. Bye!
Bye, guys.